Hey everyone, before we start, I want to mention that this video should not ever be taken super seriously. This is pretty much just a video for fun, and anything I say in it should never ever be taken super seriously. Alright, on to the video. Welcome to This Week in the NFL Week 1 edition, year 2025 edition. Get ready for some garbage. What, did you expect a little flair for season 4? Well, the Eagles and Cowboys sure produced some opening flair for about half a game, and then the weather delays kicked in, and then the defenses started to step up. It was a valiant effort from the Cowboys indeed, but at the end of the day, the Eagles were just a better team. But you know, Dallas, someone could have helped you out there that used to be on your team. Want to know who it was? Here's a hint. His name rhymes with Micah Parsons. For the second time in 2 seasons, the NFL is going to Brazil. Man, that still feels really weird to say. But even weirder to say it than that is that the Chargers actually managed to beat the Chiefs this time around. The Chiefs couldn't even get off a crazy moment before running out of time. But I wouldn't be dancing on their grave just yet, and no one is, as they rightfully should, because these are the Chiefs, and they're always going to come back, right? Well, for the first time in quite a while, actually, the Saints have lost a home opener. And you know what? I'm not even mad at this. We played them a lot closer than some people probably thought we would, and Spencer Rattler actually looked pretty decent today. It hurts, but it hurts less. And that's all I care about at the moment. Jeez, we gave up 7 yards in the second half and we still lost? That's actually about par for the course at this point. I totally expected that as a Browns fan. At least this defense looks good, I guess. I think everyone and their mother knows that the NFL is only truly back when the Atlanta Falcons blow another game in truly hilarious fashion. Let's see how they did it this time. Ah yes, they gave up a last-minute touchdown, missed a last-second field goal, and caused the entire fan base to turn on Younghoe Koo. The Falcons never have hope, ever. Just as everyone expected, the Steelers-Jets game was a high-scoring offensive shootout. Yeah, this would have taken the cake for best game of the week had it not been for a certain Sunday night football game that I will definitely get to. However, Aaron Rodgers definitely looked like his old self again. And Justin Fields actually didn't look that bad either. Both quarterbacks actually impressed me today, which is quite a feat considering that I expected absolutely nothing out of these two teams previously. Well done. I'm interested to see what the heck you two do in the future. Welcome back to Offensive Incompetency, where the Giants took 7 shots, yes, 7 shots on goal-to-go situations and failed miserably on all of them, being forced to kick a field goal at the end of it. Like, I know you're still the Giants, but come on, I was expecting the Commanders to kind of slump, and you did that. Way to give them confidence, I guess. If the Panthers thought they were going to make some serious noise this season, they got shamed and then some this week. The most effective attack against the Jaguars defense were lightning strikes. Not great for a team who wants to build momentum. On the other hand, the Jaguars got all the momentum in the world. That coach looks like a real winner. I could probably run through a brick wall for him. That is the sound of the Dolphins collapsing against Indianapolis. I mean, what even was this? This was sad. You made Daniel Jones look like a good quarterback in 2025. You can't even blame the injury bug because there's no injuries to speak of. It's only week 1. Well, there's always next game? It's strange. Out of everything that didn't work this week, Geno Smith on the Raiders did? Huh, I guess Unk still got it. Especially when said Unk is Pete Carroll, well in his 70s, beating up Bill Belichick's former team. Speaking of which, where is he now? Ooh, that's a lot of stink. maybe it's not a good idea to bring him back in the NFL. One of the more interesting quarterback battles of the week ended up turning into a total defensive slugfest. Cam Ward could not even score a touchdown for his team. Bo Nix looked like one of the worst quarterbacks in the entire league this week. But in the end, Denver did have a defense, and they don't let rookies win at their home stadium. So Denver wins today. Just take it and run, boys. I think we can officially quiet down some talk about how CJ Stroud is a top 5 quarterback in the AFC. I mean, the Rams were great, but they didn't really have to do that much either to stop the Texans, who, they didn't really show up today. Maybe their offense can show up again in the future, but if they play like they did this week for the rest of the season, woof. Not a lot to say about this game other than the fact that Seattle's defense looks sneakingly scary, and Brock Purdy apparently developed a clutch gene in the offseason. Seriously, he led a clutch drive in the final minutes of the game, and Sam Darnold doesn't look near as good as he did in his Minnesota days. I think it may be time to fix up that offensive line of yours, Seattle. Not that you haven't been doing it for the past few years. After the Packers traded for Micah Parsons, remember him, he ended up playing a big part in the Packers' defense as they completely smothered the Lions' offense. It was so bad for Detroit, they couldn't even get a touchdown until garbage time. Detroit might actually be missing Ben Johnson at this point. Of course, he isn't doing so hot as head coach either, so maybe you can grab him back if he gets fired. Just wishful thinking. If I had a nickel for every time bird teams, which I don't like because they are rivals to my teams, ended up choking away games in hilarious fashion, I'd have way more than 2 nickels. A significant amount, but it's weird that this keeps happening because you two are supposed to prove yourselves every time you step onto the field at this point, I feel like, and you keep blowing it like this. Seriously though, great game, and I hope you two meet each other again. J.J. McCarthy was one of the more interesting quarterbacks coming into this Monday night matchup. For as you see, he had not played a meaningful down of football since he was injured last preseason. And for the first 3 quarters of the game, he looked absolutely terrible. People were wondering if Justin Jefferson was going to get himself traded out of Minnesota, he was doing so poorly. Yes, for the first 3 quarters of the game, he was completely and utterly scrutinized. But then the 4th quarter came, and he managed to put up 3 touchdowns, which is the first time a rookie quarterback had ever done that in their opening game. So, I guess he just needed some time to warm up? Pro football. It always warms my heart to see it back in action, no matter the circumstances and no matter the excitement on the field. Here's 3 things that I managed to learn this week. Number 1, buy into hype stocks. Pretty much everyone who is hyped up on social media and also anyone who bought into those stocks cashed in this week. Outside of maybe Bryce Young hype, but then again, no one should ever trust the Panthers at anything. Number 2, the game doesn't end until triple zeros. The Ravens learned this the hard way, but also we had a few other close games around the league. Steelers, Jets, Vikings, Bears, at least the score was close. Same with the Browns, Bengals. Even the Cardinals and Saints had a close ending. And number 3, Unk still got it. Almost every veteran who went to a new team did well this week. Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford did okay. Justin Fields, Daniel Jones? The only one that didn't do well was Russell Wilson, and then again, you could talk that up to the Giants' absolute failure of being a pro football team. Well, that'll do it for this week. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, ring the bell, and don't forget about John 3:16. And I'll see you next time. Colossians chapter 3, verse 1. Since you have been raised to new life of Christ, set your sights on the realities of heaven, where Christ sits in the place of honor at God's right hand. Trying to fix the world is pointless, so why not pay attention to the stuff that already is perfect?